What's up,
What's up,
Brian?
Brian?
Hey, what's up, guys? Hello.
Hello. Well, I just
Of
want to say thank you guys. Thank you for doing the interview.
course.
I heard, I heard only two songs of yours, but both of them I really enjoyed. It's the only, like, how do you even describe your music, right? I wrote down it's sort of jazz, it's sort of R&B, it's sort of indie pop or indie rock, and it's sort of psychedelic rock. Like, so it's a little bit of everything, and it really just touched my soul. It's a true vibe. Um,
Him.
it's like music you want to, like, I got home from work, I'm gonna smoke some weed before I make dinner and just relax and embrace the day. So tell me about Lannds. How did you guys become Lannds?
Yeah. So I guess it kind of started off as like a solo project back in like 2015-ish era. And I feel like I like tell the story so differently like all the time. But basically like so we're from Jacksonville, and it's like a small hub of like musicians in the like scene, I guess. And Brian's band, which was Sea Cycles at the time, like 2015, 2016 era. I saw them live, and like, I don't know, I just thought his band was like really cool at the time. Like, I still think they're like one of my like huge inspirations. So shout out to Sea Cycles. But yeah, and at the time, like I was looking for someone to kind of do like some production stuff, like help me like kind of fledge out structuring, and I was just still pretty new to it. So I saw Brian's band live and like kind of hit him up and found out that he was kind of the one to like record like most of the bands that were in the scene at the time. Would you like say that's like accurate, Brian? I don't know, like
Yeah, that feels good. We'll go with it. Yeah.
or but yeah, I guess long story short, like yeah, I just really like liked what he was doing, and we just eventually were like, yeah, we work really well together, and we were like, yeah, let's just keep doing this. So yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, you have a new album, Lotus, that's on its way, or is it already out?
It's out.
Okay, that's out. And you are supporting right now two singles. In the Garden, Hit 'em. In the Garden, I'm gonna say straight off the bat that the first, scene in that, you're in a red car, you're by the ocean, and it
Mhm.
brought me back to San Junipero of Black Mirror.
Oh, wow.
And already then I was like, whoa, let's go on this journey.
Yeah.
And while listening to your songs over, or, these two over and over again, I was like, it's so it's so wonderfully put together. How do you guys create? Is it a jam that turns into a song, or because it's just beautiful?
Thanks. We there's a couple different methods that we follow, and actually both those songs, they do the two things. Sometimes Rania will have an idea and work on it a little at home by herself and then bring it to us or to like my studio, and then sometimes we'll just be hanging out and just completely start from scratch. And in the case of those two songs, Hit 'em started with Rania's demo, and In the Garden was one where we just sat down and just like made it from scratch. But usually it's like a process of like, we just keep going back and forth, adding stuff. And I don't know, we have a weird communication that works really well. Like if I describe my process to some people, I feel like it wouldn't work. I wouldn't recommend it to everyone, but for whatever reason, we do it great, where we're just like constantly bouncing ideas and layering and then taking things away and like listening to each other, and then like by the end of the night we're like, oh shit, we have a song. Like, how did that happen?
It's very sporadic sometimes, like
yeah.
I guess there's like not one really like specific way. I feel like we just like catch a vibe with each other,
Mm-hmm.
and if we're whatever vibe we're both on, like that's what we're going with. So if it's like I bring Brian a demo, he's like, all right, I'm gonna go with this. And then if we're together, like working on something, we're like, okay, all right, this is just the setup. This is how it's gonna work. And
Yeah.
And, like the subtleness of it too, like when you're, you know, it feels like you're just giving your soul to the process. And like there's like like when you're just singing like a note and it's just lingering in the air, it's really, it sets the mood, it sets the ambiance, and I love it.
yeah, I mean, we honestly, it's just, it feels like we just kind of go with the flow most of the time. So yeah.
We're always like cheering each other on. Like if one of us has an idea, like I might be working on something and I might be like only half think it's a good idea, and then I'll look over and realize that Renae's like, fuck yeah, that's like, do that, and like going off about it, and I'm like, okay, and then we'll just like follow that path, and then the same thing with her, like back and forth. So we'll end up like getting more experimental like as we go. So that's why we spent on those 2 tracks, we put a lot of time into like the nuances of the effects and like how it sounds in headphones, and like just playing with like weird sounds.
So you have Lotus out. How do you guys feel about it?
Oh yeah, I honestly, like, I feel like we were just talking about this just recently. Like Lotus is probably one of the first projects, other than like we have a full length out that's coming out eventually, but I feel like that's like the first project that I've felt like I can like sit and listen to without feeling like, oh, like cringe about it, in the most like non, like, I don't know, like, just I feel like we're just really confident about where we're at as a band and as like an artist. So if that makes sense.
Yeah.
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 How do you feel, Brian? Same.
I feel good about it too. I feel the same way. I feel like we had a little turning point with like, which isn't to knock anything we did before, but I think we had a turning point where we realized like, let's start making what we really want to hear, and like not let any other, because sometimes I think it's really easy to think like, oh, what would somebody else like, or what would go well on a playlist, or like these kind of things. And like, and I'm not saying that ever like guided us, but that at some point has been factored. And then like with Lotus, that was the first time when it like 100% was not a factor. We didn't let anyone hear it, not even like friends and family, through the entire process until it's done, because we just didn't want any like any of that extra
Any noise.
So now that feels good. Yeah, it feels good to be like that one feels real to us.
Sometimes, like, you know, in a creative process, I mean, I don't know shit about music, but I do comedy, right? And I what I hate the most is I'm working on a joke, and then I go to somebody I think like, hey, what do you think? Like, how should I work this or that? And then they change the whole shit. Like, oh, come on, get out of here. And then sometimes you second guess yourself too. Like,
Exactly.
maybe that shit sucked. Maybe, and then you scrap it, and it's just too much.
It's too, that's literally it. It's just too much. And like, I don't know, because you feel so hyped up about it when you first started, and it's like, yeah.
And I think too, like when something's like half done, like when we have a demo, or like when you have a joke that's kind of like in its baby form, and you show it to someone else, like they may not fully see it. So like because they gave you that negative feedback, you may squash the idea or alter the course of the idea before that first idea ever like fully grew. So it's like, you just can't, like, it's just better to not even take that risk. I mean, obviously criticism is very helpful in a lot of cases, but I don't know, we just got to a place where we don't want it. At least, you know, I don't know how to say that without sounding like it's a problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you just got to let the artist be the artist.
Yeah.
So let's, Rania, how did you get in? Like, what is your background with when it comes to music?
Yeah, so basically my family is kind of always like, I've kind of grew up around like musicians. I sang in church. My family sang in church growing up. And I have like a big family on my mom's side. So just like a typical, like, you know, like day during the week for us would be like going to my grandmom's place after school, and then like them like getting you know, like making dinner, and like singing like for rehearsal for Sunday. So that was like a typical like Wednesday night for my family. And then like we go to church on Sunday, and then there my family is like singing in the choir or something. So yeah, and that was just like almost like an everyday thing for me growing up. And shout out to my family for kind of like putting me onto like some of the dopest like music, like Motown, Stax, like, and I'm from Memphis, so like that's just what I remember growing up, like just shit like that. So yeah, just that was what it was like for me.
How does your family feel about you pursuing your dreams and moving to LA?
It's interesting, because like I feel like they've kind of always wanted to do something like that, and I think just like life happens. So they're just like doing like normal shit, like attorney, like going to school. I never really chose that path. So it's kind of interesting, but I would say overall, they're pretty like, okay, she's like living her life. So, like I wouldn't say they're like happy about it, but like, they're like, all right, we're here for it, if that makes sense.
Oh, I gotcha. I
It's
definitely gotcha.
interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I still get heckled by my family.
Yeah.
Just for, why did you leave the military? Do that the whole life. That's a career.
And
Are you in LA too?
I'm in Ventura.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So right down the road.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. And hopefully we can work together after this. You know what I mean? I do festivals and shit, and it'll be nice. It's always nice to get that fresh LA blood out here.
dude, do you have like shows in LA, or have you been doing shows, or?
Yeah, me or
Yeah.
No,
No,
yeah. I do shows in Ventura and Oxnard.
dude, because Brian's a big comedy fan, and I've been trying to get into comedy, so like we would definitely be down to come in.
Oh, my comedy. I have a podcast and I do, stand up, but man, my podcast is way funnier than my stand up. But I'm okay. There's a lot of people worse than me. There's so many people better than me, so I can just hang out in the middle for a while.
There you go. Nice.
What about you, Brian? What is your musical background?
Mine is, I guess I just been playing music ever since I could remember. I started playing violin when I was 5, and I like did that as like a kid, and then pretty quickly got into drums once I started hearing like rock music in like middle school age, and played drums all the way through high school. And I did the whole like marching band thing and drum line and all that kind of stuff. But I've been focused, like singularly focused on music like for a long time, like since high school. I used to play in like pop punk bands and that kind of stuff. And then pretty quickly I tried to start learning every instrument I could, like guitar, piano, and just like filled my life with it. And that's just like all I've been doing since I can remember. I don't know, there's not really a time before it for me at this point. It's weird.
You're just freaking blessed, creative dude. Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hi, we have a bit of a well, it's not a situation yet.
Mhm. Okay, sounds good. Bye. Sorry.
That's okay.
Okay, so we were at boom boom. Oh, you are just brilliant. That's Brian's brilliant. We got there.
I appreciate that, but what's funny is it doesn't feel like, I don't think I'm a natural talent kind of person. I'm a brute force kind of person. I spend like a lot of time practicing, so I definitely think that like I can convince somebody now, but I don't think I ever like instantly was good. Like, and I know a lot of musicians are that way. And so I'm one of those people. I'm in the camp of people who think like, if you just try really hard and like put a ton of hours into something, you'll get good at it. But I think it because that's what I did. Like if I love it, I'll try it. but I definitely kind of sucked for years. So.
Well, but I've never really had the words for that, what you just said, brute force versus naturally gifted. Like
Mhm.
everything in my life has been, I'm going to do it. That's it. It's just,
Yeah.
that's what's going to happen. I'm going to do it. And
Exactly.
sometimes it takes brute force.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I'm always jealous of people that can just pick up instruments and learn them right away, or they naturally sound good at singing, you know, and like more power to those people. But I just think that like, if you know, you could pick anything and just try it. Like you'll probably, even if you suck at first, you could do it. Like I can't even think of other examples of things to, actually, that's not true. I tried years to skateboard and I never got good at skateboarding. So I take it back. Some things are impossible.
And basketball with me.
Yeah.
But I mean, everything else, just hard work, you know, and
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
always it's a good thing to do, you know, hard work. All right. We're gonna, wind it down a bit, and we're going to go with some more easier questions, more non-music related. Well, some of them are, but to get to know who you are as a person. I'm gonna ask, my first question is, what is your mom or dad's signature dish?
I guess I'll go. So my mom's like signature dish would probably be like, this is not good for you, but like cornbread, mac and cheese, collard greens. Let's go. Let's go. All day, every day, straight up soul food, completely bad on your arteries, but good for the soul, you know what I'm saying?
Tennessee, that's
Tennessee.
Southern loving. Let's go.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say that my mom's is macaroni and cheese. Like she probably wants it to be something different, but like if I just think about my childhood and what I was so stoked about, it was definitely macaroni and cheese.
All right. Dream concert. You're the booker. You have to find 4 acts, alive or dead, to play this dream concert. Who are you picking?
Okay. Okay, I can probably do mine really easily here. All right, I'm gonna go with the headliner is gonna be Pink Floyd. But like 70s era Pink Floyd, like before that, if we can also like in our imagination pick the era that they're playing.
Yeah.
Modern, it would have to be like Toro y Moi for sure. And then it's gotta be 4 bands. These bands would all be headliners. That's the problem. And then Radiohead, and then we have to do like an acoustic opener, maybe like Nick Drake.
Dang, that's a sick fucking lineup, dude.
Yeah, tickets are really expensive, and they're pretty expensive, so
you have to pay for them.
Yeah.
Holy shit, dude. Dang. Okay. All right. So for me, headliner, Frank Ocean. Brian already said Radiohead, so I'm gonna say Tom York. Gotta get some solo shit going. I would say Prince.
Okay.
And last one, dude, Jimi Hendrix? Is that a weird one? Is that weird?
No.
That's a great one.
That is a good one. But is it the Experience or the Band of Gypsies?
Oh, I'm gonna say the Experience.
Okay.
Because maybe I don't. Oh, this is like probably controversial to say, but I'm not as experienced with Gypsies. It's like era, so I'm just gonna say Experience.
All right.
Don't come for me, please don't.
What has been your biggest blunder when you've been on stage?
Oh, let me answer this. So like, it wasn't even that bad. It was just like the seriousness of it, we had like just started doing shows, and we didn't really know, like we didn't have our sound together, and we were playing in like a very DIY kind of venue that didn't sound great because it had brick walls. And we had some like very early on like label interest, and someone came to see us that we really, really wanted to impress. And we put like a lot of pressure on this show, and like the computer messed up and we had to restart a song like multiple times. And like, it was just, it hurt me inside so much. And like, there was just like an early lesson learned, you know? And, but that's definitely my answer. That was like a nightmare. What do you think, Rania?
Oh, I knew, I kind of, when you started the story, I knew you were gonna say that. I guess I don't really even have like a specific like thing. It's almost like I don't know if this is an answer that like this will answer it, but for me, it's always my nerves, if that makes sense, or like my nervousness that like ends up making me say or do weird things on stage.
Yeah, what about when you told those people we were from Houston?
Oh my God, yes. Tim, we just like did a run with Washed Out, like what was like a month ago. And
Yeah, recently. This is recent.
Yeah, this was recent. Like, so we drove from LA to, what was it?
We drove to
Houston. But the show, what was the show? Was the show in?
We were in somewhere. We were in Dallas.
We were in Dallas. Yeah. So, dude, this show was like a big show. It was like what, like 1,000 cap or something like that.
Yeah, it was more people.
I don't know. The venue, it just, I walked out on stage and I just felt so like not completely there. I don't know. It just like, and I was just like, yeah, we're Lannds. We just drove 24 hours from Houston. And
Man, they must have been stopping all kinds.
They were so stoked for us, dude. They were like, yeah, dude. And then like, we go backstage and like the whole night there's like, yeah, welcome to Dallas, like thanks for driving all the way from Houston. I'm just like, I was just like, yeah, no, that's not what I meant, like we're from oh my God, it's just the whole thing. But that's what I'm saying, like I just get so nervous sometimes on stage. It's just like my jitters, and I just like say random shit that like I don't fucking mean, dude. So that's my thing. That's what I'm gonna say. Like,
I love that right now.
That's awesome. All right. And then before I get to my last question, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you guys for being so honest and open and sharing your story and sharing your art, and keep on going. I definitely believe in you guys. You guys are something special. And I'm very appreciative of our time that we just spent.
Wow.
And my last question is, you walk into a room, you wake up, and you walk out of your bedroom and you walk into a room. It's all white, and it's everybody there that you've ever met in your life. Who are you looking for first, and why?
Wow. The answer that instantly comes to my mind, which is a sad one, but it was the thing that I thought instantly, was my grandma.
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah, she passed away in 2020, and she was really important to me. And there's not even really any good reason besides like, if I could think of someone that I can't instantly go see right now, it would be her. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I completely interrupted you when you said
that.
It's okay. I thought the same thing too. And I was gonna ask him if it could be like someone that was still here with us, but that was the same thing. And so wow, thanks for asking that. It like is really special.
Yeah. Or like old friends from high school that I could like just make fart jokes with. I would do that too.
I ask that question frequently, and you'd be surprised at the answers. You can really tell a lot about somebody, who they really are, with those answers. Like, wow. You know, people would, it's beautiful. To me, it's a beautiful question, and the answers, like right now, what we just received was beautiful as well.
Dude, yeah. Thanks for having us. And it means a lot that like you said that like, you know, that you believe in us. I don't know. It just it's like refreshing to like, I don't know, to like sit and like have a conversation about I don't know, that question really like made me like just feel tender. So I don't know, like it's nice to have that, especially like in the world we're living in where things feel so tense and like I feel like there's a lot of darkness happening and like it's just nice to feel that right now. You know what I mean?
I definitely do.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you guys. And let's follow each other on social media.
Yeah.
And let's figure out something. Let's do something together. Let's have some fun.
Cool. Yeah, it sounds good.
All right. We'll talk to you soon. And thank you for your time.
Yeah,
All right,
wonderful
thanks,
meeting you.
Tim.
You too.